At the same breath, I wish to challenge those UDA sycophants, individually and collectively, to list any landmark development project done at the cost by President William Ruto, save for the unconstitutional constructions of the unpopular affordable housing scheme. Fellow Kenyans, this oppressive regime has made life difficult for every adult. Nobody is safe, even those in their misguided praise and worship UDA choir. Let us rise and rise. Let us rise and unite so that together we can remove this oppressive regime. Friends and comrades, colleagues in the struggle, the Kadu Asili fraternity, members of the Fourth Estate, the oppressed ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. On behalf of the Kadu Asili fraternity, may I take this opportunity to address you on a number of pertinent issues which the President deliberately omitted to address in his recently concluded tour. Kadu Asili leadership acknowledges his constitutional right to travel all over Kenya so as to interact with citizens, listen to their grievances for his consideration and necessary action for the relief and comfort of all the citizens. Unfortunately, this didn't happen. Instead, the President embarked on giving false promises. The Kadu Asili fraternity is disappointed that despite the current harsh economic challenges, the President did not mention any of those pertinent issues as listed below. First in our list is unemployment. The unemployed coastal youths expected the President William Ruto to at least give them optimism on employment. Why did the recently concluded online recruitment at the Kenya Ports Authority favor Rift Valley region, which brought over 80% of the total number of all those recruited, leaving only 20% to be shared by the entire country? This is outright discrimination in our view. And the Constitution does not allow any kind of discrimination as it states. The state shall not discriminate directly or indirectly against any person on any ground. Arising from this discrimination, Kadu Asili leadership hereby demands strongly that this recruitment be nullified and be repeated so that everybody who deserves from the coast region and any other place can be recruited. Health care services. Every person has a right to the highest attainable standard of health, which includes the right to health care services, including reproductive care, reproductive health care. Majority of Kenyans have complained that the SHA medical scheme is not working at all as expected. Everybody is disappointed by the persistent shortcomings of this medical scheme. We expected the President to give hope and assurance to mothers who once benefited from the Linda Mama services through NHIF. This he did not do. Wherever he is, he must do that now, give hope to the mothers of this country. Farmers, fishermen, small-scale traders, mama mboga, and the boda riders. During the 2022 UDA campaign, these were the main target groups for employment, empowerment, and mobilization. Why have they been suddenly neglected? We demand that our borders, our fishermen at the coast, our farmers be given the attention they deserve and the assistance that every farmer should have as promised during the campaigns of 2022. High cost of living. The increase in fuel prices shall lead to an increase in manufacturing expenses. Such increase shall trigger corresponding commodity price increase. The spillover effect shall generate further economic hardships on the already overstretched purchasing power of every Kenyan. All sectors shall indeed be affected, as has already been demonstrated by the fare hikes in the transport sector. Kenyans must rise and stand together to reject the oppressive fuel prices. And in addition, the president should rescind those prices immediately. Taxation. Majority of the working class in Kenya, save for the politicians, do not enjoy the benefits of their labor due to overtaxation. One's payslip these days resembles a newspaper column because it has a lot of information on salary deductions, such that the net pay at the bottom is an offensive small amount. Overtaxation has demoralized the working class people who cannot make ends meet despite being employed. Kenyans can no longer cope with the many taxes being imposed on them by the state, and we must unite and reject these taxes as a whole. The wheelbarrow government took over in August 2022. 4 years down the line, President William Ruto is still busy moving from one region to another, making unsustainable promises on development, launching and relaunching unbudgeted projects instead of commissioning completed ones, if any. In the absence of funding, these projects constitute empty promises or lies for public applause. Consequently, Asili leadership wishes to quite earnestly plead to President William Ruto to request former President Uhuru Kenyatta for serious tutorials on strategic planning for national development. During his tenure in office, President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration transformed the Kenyan coastal region through a 3.6 trillion funded and completed mega infrastructural and economic projects. Key initiatives included modernizing ports, upgrading major highways, constructing vital bridges across Mombasa and the neighboring counties to boost trade and regional connectivity. Remarkable deliverables included the following among many others. 1. Development of the Lamu port, phase 1 with 3 beds, completed and operational. 2. Minjila-Lamu Road in Lamu. 3. The Makupa Causeway Bridge in Mombasa, which significantly eased the Kibarani traffic jam. 4. Dredging and expansion of Kilindini Port, including the second container terminal and the Kipevu oil terminal. 5. Rehabilitation of Mamangina waterfront in Mombasa. 6. Rehabilitation of Kongowea and the Marikiti markets in Mombasa. 7. Mavueni bypass, that is Mariakani Kaloleni Mavueni Road. 8. Malindi Salagat Road, Mariakani Bamba Road. 9. Galana Kulalo Farm in Tana River. 10. Kwale Port at Shimoni. 11. Miritini Junction. 12. Kinango Water Project, now known as the Mwache Dam Project. 13. Establishment of Huduma centers countrywide. 14. Kilifi Town Bypass. 15. Refurbishment of the new KCC in Mombasa. 16. Samburu Kinango Road. 17. Utalii University. And 18. Over 800,000 title deeds were issued to landowners addressing historical land injustices. 19. The marvelous Dongo Kundu bypass linking Mombasa to Kwale. 20. Construction and commissioning of the magnificent Standard Gauge Railway SGR from Mombasa to Nairobi. On behalf of Kadu Asili fraternity in particular, and the Coast Region population in general, I wish to wholeheartedly thank the former President, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, for these milestone developments. At the same breath, I wish to challenge those UDA sycophants individually and collectively to list any landmark development project done at the cost by President William Ruto, save for the unconstitutional constructions of the unpopular affordable housing scheme. Fellow Kenyans, this oppressive regime has made life difficult for every adult. Nobody is safe, even those in their misguided praise and worship Uda choir. Let us rise and rise. Let us rise and unite so that together we can remove this oppressive regime in 2027 through the power of the ballot. Long live Kadu Asili, long live Coast Region, long live Kenya. May justice be our shield and defender.
Thank you, gentlemen of the press. I just want to echo what our party leader has given to the nation. There has never come the right moment for the coastal people to reject this regime like right now. If today we can sit here and acknowledge ya kwamba 80% of the opportunities ambazo zilifaa kwenda katika kijana wa taifa la Kenya zimeenda katika region moja, then what is the best way to wake up Kenyans and say this regime is not working for the interest of this nation than an individuals and a particular region? Huo sio taifa na huo sio Kenya, and in equal measures we need to rise up and say Ruto must go in the next election. That is number one. Number two, our party Kadu Asili has stood the test of time. Many parties have come and have gone because they were not of the interest ya mwananchi wa pwani na Mkenya kwa jumla. So it is my humble appeal kwamba the only person and the only party and the only institution that is left to rescue this region and the whole country is Kadu Asili Party, which we are proud to be members of. Lastly, the issue of land that we were articulating here in cost. The government should not just assume kwamba they know what is best for this nation at this moment. I think it is high time that we have a task force that will include all the stakeholders on matters land, especially in this country and this region, so that we are able to advise where the government should buy and where the government should just empower the people to be able to get this land, because not every single land that has an issue was grabbed, and not every single land that has an issue was stolen. The issue that there are easy misunderstandings maybe between family members and maybe among beneficiaries who are left to occupy some of these pieces of land. So the only way that the government can solve these issues of land is by having a task force and make sure the people of the region are 100% involved and to have their say on how best they want the government to go around this land issue. Lastly, we know when issue matters of national importance or regional importance are politicized, they are never seen to come to an end. The land issue has been a political matter in this region, and to us as Wapwani, swala la ardhi sio swala la kisiasa, ni swala la maisha yetu. Na kwamba marais wote wanangojea uchaguzi ukikaribia wanakuja pwani kwa swala la ardhi, kwa kweli ni jambo la kuchosha. Na imefikia wakati kwamba tunaomba rais huyu aliyeko mamlakani asilizungumzie tena. Hili jambo lio ni jambo la asili ya kwamba sasa litatatuliwa na likome kuwa jambo la kisiasa. Imechosha.